depending on when you see this video, you may have already heard us talk about how you shouldn't pre-order games, you shouldn't buy season passes. But, you know, no one's telling you you can't do that thing, especially season passes if you really like the game you're playing. I really liked Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I've said that many times. It's possibly one of my favorite games of this generation. I know it's not quite Assassin's Creed, but it's really rekindled my favor with Assassin's Creed. Like, they kind of lost me for Unity, as they did many, and then it took me a while before I picked up Syndicate. When I finally did, it's like, oh, this is better. And, I missed out on Origins because I was unsure again. You know, my faith wasn't there, so I gave it to someone else to review. After playing Odyssey, blown away, went and bought Origins. And now Season Pass holders for Assassin's Creed Odyssey have gotten a new treat. Remastered versions of Assassin's Creed 3 and Assassin's Creed Liberation. Back when it came out, I really did not like Assassin's Creed 3. And there's plenty of legit reasons to hate it. There were insta-fail missions, the main character wasn't all that interesting. But, like, there were more issues that were a problem back then that aren't now, like the controls. No, the controls were kind of different, especially with the flintlock and everything, but by Assassin's Creed 4, it made a lot more sense. But I still I didn't feel like going back to that game. I also was speeding through it because I was just so hungry to see the ending of the real world plot that, you know, I was kind of blowing through everything. Didn't bother with the ship missions. But, you know, now that I have it again, I can take my time with it. But, you know, I'm really kind of bothered right now. I'm playing this on the Xbox One X. And, you know, there's a bunch of graphical comparison videos out. And look, I don't want to be, you know, I thought fake news was only a thing for mainstream outlets. But I'm taking issue with this. You know, Assassin's Creed, the Ezio Collection, was a remastered trilogy. And a video came out from Polygon that compared it. And the game was grossly misrepresented. They showed you an ugly-looking NPC that they implied was there all the time. He was an ugly NPC, but they were randomly spawning. And then they showed off a glitch where you move twice as fast, and they made it off like everyone, hey, you're moving twice as fast in this one. What? No, you're not. You just showed it in the video and said they didn't care. But that's Polygon. But I looked at a graphical comparison video online because I was just playing the game and said, hey, this looks pretty good. Except for the eyes. I don't know what it is with Ubisoft and remasters, but they can never seem to get the eyes correct. I don't know why. But I saw a comparison and it looked really muddy and gross. And I just looked at this video for a while like, did it really look this bad? This remaster? They painted the other one to look way better. But then I realized, you know, they weren't fully upfront with everything. This one place was showing you the Xbox 360 version versus the Xbox One Classic version. I could tell it wasn't the One X version because I have the One X version, and I physically played it. And I looked at this graphic comparison, and whatever it was not the experience I was getting. They seemed to specifically only highlight bad things during the comparison. Like they chose to forgo entire segments to specifically make sure you only see the bad stuff. That's not good. That's not cool. You know, like, represent the whole game. Don't just, like, shit on it because you feel like it's not great. And a couple review sites did this. They just really highlighted the bad elements and only them, and didn't really show you off what was new about it. You know, that it was 4K. And the textures looked really good. The environment looked really good. It's just the faces and the eyes looked really weird. But even so, like, it was showing clothing looking not that good, and it looked super sharp and clean on my copy, so something was wrong with a few of these graphical comparisons. Thankfully, even... I don't want to say, like, it being a bad remaster is fake news, but it's kind of fake news. It's a decent remaster. It looks great on my One X. I'm actually enjoying it more retroactively. Well, not retro. I'm enjoying it more now because I'm just taking my time with it and not trying to rush through, since I now know the future plot really isn't worth bothering with. And I know that I'll eventually get to the parts that bugged me, but I'm just sitting back and trying to enjoy it, see if I'll like it the second time around. Anyway, you know, I went to a few other graphical comparison videos, and they were much more representative of what the final product was. I was looking at places like a place called Candyland, and they had a very good comparison. Possibly the best I had seen out of all the many comparison videos out there. They were showing PC builds for both of them, and Xbox 360. I forgot, I'll just pop it up here. And these builds, you know, they were honest, they showed the frame rate, but not only did they show the frame rate and compared it that way, they also showed you the individual effects that were enhanced in the game. So rather than just trying to throw pictures at you and go, okay, it's a remaster, they stop and explore what the changes are. You know, the fact that they kind of degraded the game, because we all know about the gray and brown thing from next-gen games. They gave it a little bit more yellow to it, which some people are complaining about, but it does look better. Textures, super high, I've already said that. Whatever ambient occlusion is, it's probably got that. It's a little bit on the foggier side, people are saying, but that's just because they enhanced foggy sections. You know, they made that fog look better. The grass and plants look a lot better. They really did good with the environments, the textures of the buildings. I'm walking around through Boston for the second time again, and I feel much more in love with it. And then they'll show, like, the quality of shadows. The quality of shadows is better. Just all these other designer elements that all these other comparison videos just kind of blazed on through. And it's not right. Like, don't be Polygon. I mean, that's pretty much a good mantra for literally everything. Don't be Polygon. Whatever you're doing game-wise, don't be Polygon. You know, be fair. Like, it really seems like some outlets are just ready to be malicious. Maybe I'm offended, possibly. Don't say I'm offended, I'm not. I just feel put off. Because, you know, with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and now going back to play Assassin's Creed 3, I've rekindled my love for the series. I used to be a huge fan, I fell off, I'm back on it again. Even though I know Assassin's Creed 3 will eventually irritate me, but I also read that they fixed some sections. There was someone in the comments saying that when you're on the boat in the beginning of the game, you actually have to go back up and down several times on the boat. Like, it tells you, oh, go to your cabin, you sleep, and then you go the next day. With the new intro, it just skips that part, which some people were complaining about, but it's like, no, it's better, it's more expedient. I felt like the boat section lasted forever when I first started. Now it didn't. And just little enhancements like that. I've only been a few hours in, so I might review the game as a whole, as a remaster. Generally, we don't do remaster reviews anymore. But this game was given to me because it's part of the season pass of the game I really like. So yeah, damn right I'm going to play some of it. And actually, I'm actually even more excited to play Liberation. I haven't even checked out the graphical comparisons for Liberation yet. I kind of don't want to spoil it for me. But back then, I really loved Liberation a lot more. A lot more than Assassin's Creed 3. They kind of, they simplified it a little bit, and it made sense. And it was the actual first game in the Assassin's Creed series to have a female protagonist. And so, oh, we'd never done that before. Yes, you did. You did it in Liberation. I mean, it wasn't originally a mainline release, but it eventually was. But it come out, wasn't even on the Vita, it was on the PSP or something. Check that. I'll write down the facts in the comments. Hashtag only the facts. But yeah, it looked better on the HD version, and now it's HD remastered. Or at least I hope it is. God, I hope they didn't just like port it and call it a day. Yeah, a lot of great research, huh? That's how we deliver only the facts. We do the research, and by we do the research, we do zero research. Give Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered a fair shot, especially if you have the Season Pass. No reason not to pass it up. The game releases as of April and May are starting to slow down, so now's your time to catch up on stuff, catch up on your old favorites, catch up on the litany of games you probably have backlogged because so many came out in February. Just, oh man, it was like endless games in February. So much. I still haven't reviewed half of them. It's too many. I'm getting sidetracked. Do your due diligence. I know we don't, but do it. When you're checking out the remaster, don't just jump on a forum where people are already prepared to pull it apart. Make that decision yourself. Look at the comparisons, and make sure those comparisons are fair comparisons, or you get videos like those where it's clearly the inferior version of the Xbox One copy versus the X360, and I'm like, that kind of makes sense that it might look worse. And I do admit the water doesn't look as good. I mean, it's less ripply, but it was a little bit low res when it was ripply, but it still looks better than it does now, where it's got great reflections, but it looks so flat and boring. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, and you too want to fight the menace that is fake news, just kidding, whatever. Don't forget to press the like. It's either over here or here. Don't forget to press that like. And don't forget to also subscribe. We subscribe to subscribers, so subscribe and we'll subscribe right on back. And as always, don't forget, we have a whole entire website, remotegamers.com. Check out our reviews, check out our articles, check out our satire. Thank you.
Go, and go, and go, and go. Let me see you go, and go, and go, and go. Green light me and go, and go, and go, and go. Let me see you go, and go, and go, and go. Green light me. I'm down for your enjoyment. I'll be here all night. We can heat it up if you wanna. Just turn down the lights, get the cameras flashing.